Yeah, I'm a true student of the industry. So anytime Kitsis releases a survey, the T3 survey, RightCapital had a lot of adoption there. If Kitsis wrote about it, I would read anything that he writes. So anytime I see something coming from a subject matter expert on either the field of financial planning or the field of financial planning technology, it's something that I jump into right away. And actually, as I was in my role in New York City, I was starting to look at new opportunities, and I found that there were a bunch of different tools that financial advisors were using. And I reached out to a few people on the RightCapital team that are on the sales department and said, "Hey, can I get a demo or just like a 30-day trial or a week trial of your software? Because I want to be able to be more prepared for these interviews that I was going on at the time, but also I wanted to see what really would work for me. Because I have, just like an investment philosophy, I have sort of a financial planning philosophy as well. So I want to make sure that the different software that I would be really committing to if I joined another firm worked with what I believed financial planning should be. Some cash flow, some goal based, but not really just going one direction versus another. So that was kind of my process on top of reading the T3 surveys, which showed a newcomer to having really high ratings and really high market capture at such an early stage. So that was my process, very analytical, testing things out, trying to break them, trying to create plans for people in my network using the software and finding that it was a lot easier than some of the other tools I've used. Snapshot report seems to be something that just people's eyes light up and it's like, okay, we walk through the plan. We know what Monte Carlo is now. We understand our asset allocation, but just having it all in one place. I always joke, hey, print this out and put it on your refrigerator is something that I always joke about. And the text box feature is really good for us to help, keep track of things that are open items that we need to follow up on or things that we're planning to talk about in a next meeting. So their responses have been really great. And I've found that there's a lot more people logging in using RightCapital than other software tools that I've used in the past. There are more people logging in and using the vault and using some of these other features, but the snapshot report I think is really what's pulling people to log in and check things out. So I think the clients have been really positive. Have had a positive experience with it too. Yeah, I love using the tasks, and actually, the clients have told me that they love the task. They love that gratification of checking that box and getting that thing, getting that item completed. And it's helpful for me because the RightCapital does like these automated reminders, and I make the tasks due for everybody so that I get the notification that it's due and the client gets the notification that it's due and the spouse gets the notification that it's due. So we're all kind of on the same page and knowing what's important. And then if I get the email saying these tasks are due and I don't see them getting completed, I know to follow up rather than, having information in a CRM to have to follow up for it there or via email. It's nice that it's housed in one location. And having, I need to get a new statement for their 401k or whatever it may be, having that listed out in the tasks is super helpful. And my younger clients seem to love checking those boxes off. I just think it's so easy for using RightCapital to show three things that are really important for the clients that I serve, which is primarily tech folks with stock options and retirees. So the first one is in 2022 was a great example of it, is the stress testing tool. With very little, effort, we can go into the tool and show them what the stress testing looks like and say, inflation's high. We account for that and see how that impacts your plan, or the market's down. How does that impact your plan? And just kind of going proactively and sending them a report and writing up a little bit of like a paragraph of what this really says. And if they want to jump on a call, I've had clients respond back, thank you so much. This was something we were thinking about, but we didn't want to reach out to you because we thought it might be a little bit hectic, which hurts me a little bit because that's what I'm here for. But I try to be proactive in nature, and the stress testing tool really helps with that. The other thing that I've had a lot of success with in client case studies is getting people to invest a little bit more cash. I think the tool does a really good job of being able to separate cash accounts and investment accounts and showing people that, hey, it's actually a little bit more risky to keep money in cash than to invest it in the markets, which may feel a little riskier than keeping money in cash. So as long as they have enough to meet their cash reserve goal, that's fine for me, and maybe even a little bit more. But really showing them the benefit from a Monte Carlo perspective and a lifestyle perspective in the future, how implementing some of that cash over time is really going to make a big impact on their retirement, and showing the kind of the correlation between having those cash balances and inflation increasing. So that was a really top of mind topic the last 2 years. And then the thing that I always do for clients that have equity compensation, and a lot of it is really figuring out what their financial number is, right? So what I mean by that is RightCapital makes it really easy for me to just show a net cash infusion. So basically, if a client has $10 million of equity compensation in one stock from a recently IPO'd company, I could show them, hey, if you were to sell $1 million of that stock, net of taxes, and just deposit that into a diversified portfolio, this is what it would look like for your financial situation, and showing how that corresponds to their financial success and their retirement, and what happens if that company stock goes to zero. So really figuring out, I had a recent case where they needed $2.5 million to kind of secure a basic retirement at age 60. And they have $10 million of the stock, and selling $2.5 million kind of secured that normal retirement. Anything above that would help them achieve retirement sooner. And then after we sold the 2.5 million, of course, the market took a hit. And we have to revisit and, look at that plan, but they felt really secure knowing that their plan wasn't going to be completely derailed if they just held on to that additional amount. A few different case studies, but those are things that, excite me. As soon as I see somebody with equity compensation or a lot of cash, it's something that I love to just show them, rather than preaching to them, is just show them, hey, this is the benefits and this is what would happen if you don't do that.